Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am Kris. This is Black Ops Special Forces Hostage Mission in Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Black Ops Special Forces Hostage Mission. It's about time I tell you guys. Apparently, I can't read. This was requested. This is Black Ops Special Forces Hostage Mission in Mumbai. Did I say im? It's just iced tea. It's not spiked. Sugar free. Apparently. So I can't read. Breaking news, apparently. So let's just have a discussion about it. Black Ops Special Forces Hostage Mission in okay, I can't do it. It's a tongue twister, apparently. So thumbs up, subscribe. I wouldn't subscribe after that. You can donate to the channel through the thanks button. Why would you? You just click on that, request a video, throw some money at the channel. It guarantees your video gets done, and you get your name sponsoring that video. It's my way of saying thank you. We're going to start the video now. What video are you asking? This video. Black Ops Special Forces Hostage Mission in Mumbai. I did slow it down a little bit, but I had to get it.
And the terrorists have one other target. This is the Chabad House, a Jewish community center and synagogue, located in a 5-story building down a densely populated narrow street. It's home to American-born Rabbi Gavriel Holtzberg and his wife Rivka, who is 6 months pregnant. This Chabad house is one of 4,000 such houses in 73 countries, typically run by husband and wife couples. Opened in 2003, it largely catered for Israelis on their way to party hotspots, such as Goa and Rajasthan, but is open to anyone who wanted a place to pray, eat kosher food, or celebrate Jewish holidays. Information from the intercepted cell phone conversations prove it is seen as a key target by the controllers.
Every individual you kill there is like killing 50 elsewhere. Get rid of those people. Kill them. You never know. Firing may start and they may be left behind.
By God's wish, it is all quiet. No movement here.
No, don't fight.
The controllers urge the terrorists on to kill Jews.
Have you done the job or not?
I will do it now in front of you. I was waiting for your call.
Do it in the name of God. Do it in the name of God. You killed one?
Both together.
Rabbi Holtzberg and his wife Rivka are murdered, along with their unborn child. 4 others are taken hostage.
They got Americans who also were Jews. So in one fell swoop, they sent a whammy of a message. They had even said later that an American Jew or a Jew alone was worth 50 of anybody else.
Meanwhile, across Mumbai, in the luxurious Taj Hotel, the terrorists can be heard enjoying themselves in the intercepted cell phone conversations.
Did you see the paintings on the wall?
The bathrooms have gold taps. There are TVs with 13 screens.
Obviously, they were kind of overwhelmed by the luxury, and the Taj, of course, is really the epitome of luxury in terms of hotels in India.
It's ironic that human life was not considered valuable, but that wretched TV was.
The level of coordination is revealed as the controllers issue orders.
I can't see any flames on the television pictures. I said set fire to them.
Arriving in Mumbai at 5 a.m., 8 hours after the attacks began, J.K. Dutt and his senior Black Cat officers set up a command post and start planning their operation.
The government comes in to tell you what the task is. Thereafter, the place and time of the operation is decided by the force commander.
Dutt and his team quickly assess the situation. They know they are dealing with 3 locations: the 2 hotels and the Jewish Outreach Center.
The targets were split. And the main target, the Taj Hotel, was a huge, big area.
But they are hampered by a lack of information. There are no detailed floor plans of the hotels available, and no one even knows how many terrorists or hostages are still holed up in each location.
Mumbai was administratively in a state of paralysis for some time, and no information was provided to them actually of the target area. So they had to do a lot of guesswork and improvise, which took a huge amount of time.
What makes it worse is that their enemies clearly know the locations better than they do.
To my mind, somebody had wrecked the place. Taj Palace was a specific target. The Trident was a specific target. Shabbat House was a specific target.
The problems become clear when the Black Cats try to establish a perimeter around the target buildings. The locations have been well chosen. All are in heavily built-up areas.
Right in the center of Bombay, with roads, population, buildings, all sorts of things all over the place.
The Chabad House is in a narrow street. With one entrance, it is easy to defend and difficult for the Black Cats to storm without endangering the lives of the hostages.
You cannot go with all guns blazing in a scenario like this. No, certainly not. You can't use maximum force. It has to be precise force.
The hotels, on the other hand, have multiple entrances and exits.
Hotels are even more difficult to clear out because there are hundreds of rooms and you have to go from room to room to room.
Even worse, the eyes of the world are upon them. Orders are given to minimize collateral damage. And yet somehow, the Black Cats have to hunt down the terrorists. It's the second day of the Mumbai terror attacks. Pressure is now mounting on India's elite counter-terrorism unit, the Black Cats, to pounce.
The terrorists can definitely not win. Let's get that absolutely clear.
You've got to hit them hard and immediately, so that he knows that either he's going to be captured or he's going to die.
I understand what they're saying. You know, they want the Black Cats to attack. I get that. But you can't ask these guys to go in blind and not be able to have, you know, a map of what am I phasing? There you go. You can't ask them to just go in blind without a map to know where they're going. Hot spots, you know, zones in the hotel where it could get a little hairy right here because there's, you know, on certain floors, every floor is going to have the same kind of hot area where it's just an area where there's a lot of hiding places going down a hallway where all these rooms are at. You can't ask them to just go. You're risking their life then because they're at the disadvantage. They have to be able to know to have a map or something to look at so they know, okay, we're gonna go in like this, you know, and they're also unprepared for this type of thing. So I understand you're trying to let's get this thing over with, but they also need to have a little bit of time to prepare. I'm not saying weeks, but you know, an hour to be able to walk through everything. You give them some time is what I'm saying. And I've said that many times in this paused section.
With the lives of hundreds of guests and hostages at stake, meticulous planning and preparation is vital.
I think it's very hard to imagine the kind of logistical challenges that were involved in locking down all of these sites.
In his final briefing to his officers, J.K. Dutt, the head of India's National Security Guard, has 4 key points. No loss of innocent life. Try and take the terrorists alive. Minimize collateral damage. And screen hostages to prevent terrorists slipping through the net. With the plans finalized, Black Cat commando squads are deployed to the Jewish Chabad House and the 2 5-star hotels. When completed in 1973, the Oberoi Trident Towers building was the tallest skyscraper in South Asia. At 116 meters with 35 floors above ground and 547 guest rooms, it is hugely popular with the world's business elite. Leaving the police and marine commandos guarding the perimeter, the Black Cats swing into action. And at 6:20 a.m., they enter the Oberoi Hotel. Operation Black Tornado is underway.
So the energy had to make its way through multiple rooms, multiple floors, like all five-star hotels.
With no detailed plans of the hotel, they are forced to improvise.
It's a massive building, right? And whatever information they got of the hotel and its layout was be from the hotel staff.
The NSG use the service stairs and climb to the 21st floor.
We generally prefer to tackle a target from a higher to a lower ground.
Now they start a top-down sweep of the hotel. They move down through the building, clearing each floor as they go, gradually herding the terrorists into a corner. But it isn't easy.
You have to identify these people, otherwise you will end up killing some guests inside the hotel.
Armed with German Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine guns, the men begin the meticulous room-by-room search of the hotel. As guests are rescued, they're shepherded to safety outside. Transcripts from the intercepted cell phone conversations between the terrorists and their controllers reveal what happened. 8 hours after entering the hotel, at 2 p.m. on the 18th floor, the terrorists are finally cornered by the Black Cats.
The room is on fire. I'm in the bathroom.
Try breaking out using a grenade.
I've used up both grenades.
Be brave. Don't be afraid. God and heaven are waiting for you.
God willing.
We try and capture the terrorists alive if it is possible, so that you could get maximum information. But if it is not possible, so be it.
Part 1 of Operation Black Tornado to free the Oberoi Hotel is a success. Although 24 guests were murdered, both terrorists have been killed and 143 guests rescued. A mile away, across the city, the Black Cats are in a standoff with the terrorists at the Jewish Center.
And I'm going to guess that not one of those civilians that was killed by the Black Cats. I never thought about, hey, I'm recording here, bud. I've never thought about sweeping, coming down. I just thought they would come in and then start sweeping up, and you're going to corner them. But they have the higher ground, so to speak. So I understand coming up in... Oh, I'm phasing. I'm back. All right. I can understand why you would start at the top and work your way down. Makes sense. Because then you're at the high ground, so to speak. Never thought about that before.
Having locked down the perimeters, they are unwilling to storm the building and endanger the lives of the hostages. They are further hampered by the media, who are inadvertently providing free intelligence to the gunmen.
What was very interesting about the way these attackers operated was the fact that they were monitoring the press.
It was all live. There was no time delay between what was being shown and what was being reported.
This meant the controllers were able to alert the terrorists to the helicopters buzzing the building. After carefully analyzing the intercepted traffic, intelligence agents believe all the hostages may have been executed. In the full glare of the cameras, they launch an aerial assault.
The people who organized this operation were watching those tapes and telling people inside on mobile phones that, look guys, there is a commando operation, aerial commando operation coming in.
At 7:30, NSG commandos fast rope from an Indian Air Force helicopter onto the roof of the Chabad house. The assault is captured on the cell phone intercepts.
firing has started. I think there is a helicopter on the roof. Take cover. Move now. Do it. Do it.
With suppressing fire from the terrace and covering fire from snipers, they begin hunting down the terrorists.
They're firing into our roof. Peace be upon you. I have been hit. I have been hit. Pray for me. Where have you been hit? Where have you been hit? In my side and in my leg.
After a fierce gun battle, both terrorists lie dead. The Black Cats have scored another success. The terrorists in the Oberoi Hotel have been neutralized. So have the terrorists in the Jewish Chabad house. The Black Cats now face their greatest challenge: the imposing and iconic Taj Palace Hotel.
I think for Americans, the Taj Palace Hotel could be equivalent to the Park Plaza, the Waldorf Astoria.
Because there are hundreds of rooms and you have to go from room to room, floor to floor. It's an enormous task.
Guests inside the hotel include VIPs and politicians. Their caliber and status compounding the difficulty of the operation. Not only are they potentially valuable hostages, they're amongst the world's elite. Any mistakes here will be hugely embarrassing.
What is important for the troops there is to make sure that whenever they use their weapon, they do use it properly, and that no collateral damage or no innocent civilian is killed.
In this kind of a scenario, killing a terrorist does not become a priority. Priority is to take the hostages out.
The NSG assess their options. They can't simply storm the hotel. They need a methodical approach. But for this, they need detailed floor plans. Yet once again, they don't have them.
The problem was that the NSG was not provided with any maps of the location, because apparently those maps are not available either with the hotel or the civil administration.
The only information the NSG could pick up were basic hotel room guides. They didn't show service lanes, passages, or corridors. However, the terrorists clearly knew the Taj Palace layout inside out.
I give full marks to the planners there sitting across the border.
They had this operation meticulously planned months in advance.
They say all warfare is based on deception, and they were completely, they surprised everybody.
The Black Cats realize the terrorists can use their superior knowledge of the Taj's layout to their advantage. By only operating from areas with multiple exits, they will be difficult to contain. So with the odds stacked against them, and not even knowing how many gunmen they are facing, the Black Cats prepare to move in.
Once they're given the word go, they don't look back, they don't say that I don't have intelligence. Whatever they have, you make do with that and you just get on with it.
Trying to locate the terrorists and free the hostages means breaking into and clearing all the rooms.
Every step was an obstacle for them. I know for a fact a lot of doors were jammed.
Therefore, you will have to prepare an explosive device to break open the entrance.
This is a painstaking process. It will take time to thoroughly check each area. And in a hotel with over 500 rooms, this could take days.
That had to be done very methodically and carefully, and that is why they took a lot of time.
To make matters worse, hotel guests have been told to lock themselves in their rooms. Most people are too scared to open their doors, terrified of who may be on the other side.
I mean, I don't think anyone can fault them for that. People are being killed. Yeah. If I heard, Navy SEALs, Delta Force, Green Berets, I would say, yeah, good luck. I'm not going to the door either.
As the Mumbai terror attacks move into their third day, the battle for the iconic Taj Palace Hotel is raging.
They came to cause maximum damage, and because it was a televised operation, the whole world is watching for 60 hours. They wanted to prolong it as long as possible.
India's elite Black Cat commandos are battling an unknown number of terrorists who are well armed and highly mobile.
Here was India sending in its top troops. And I suppose we thought it'd be over pretty quickly.
But with over 500 rooms to clear and hundreds of terrified guests hiding throughout the building, this cannot be a quick operation.
What we didn't know is when it would end. And by the time the siege went on and on and on, we realized this was getting very sticky.
Moving through the hotel, the Black Cats need to keep their tactics fluid and respond to situations as they arise.
When you're a soldier, you go into an operation, you will give your best for first 12 hours. After that, you'll start tiring out. But despite that, they went on, and I take my hat off to them. What they did, I think they were against all odds.
By midnight on the 28th of November, the Black Cats have been fighting for 30 hours. They have rescued over 200 guests and led them through the corridors to safe areas. Now, they can focus on the remaining terrorists.
We are going through the entire hotel, through the corridors, through the rooms, until we are able to check each and every room. I will not say that my operation is over.
With 90% of the hotel now cleared, the Black Cats believe they've cornered the remaining terrorists in one wing of the hotel. Heading up a staircase, contact is made. It's an ambush. They're caught in the crossfire. The Black Cats have a senior man killed, Major Sandeep Unikrishnan. Spurred on by his death, the Black Cats press on, forcing the terrorists to fall back. In the early hours of Saturday the 29th of November, 56 hours after the terrorists enter the hotel, there are a series of loud explosions. But for the world's media assembled outside, it is unclear what is happening.
We were given briefings by the chief of the commandos.
When we first exchanged fire, we could have got those terrorists, but for trying to avoid the casualty of those civilians, we had to be that much more careful in our firing. Information was very scanty. It was very sketchy because it was a siege situation. The commandos had gone in inside and there was a lot of fighting going on.
It was slightly strange. We were reporting on a battle which was going on in a building just a few hundred yards in front of us. But we couldn't see the battle because it was all inside.
But one thing is clear. For the terrorists, every second on TV is a victory, as the intercepts show.
The atmosphere is good. After watching the TV reports, the whole city is feeling the destruction. More than 250 are injured across the city. You have worked well for God.
They came to cause maximum damage. And because it was a televised operation, the whole world is watching for 60 hours. They wanted to prolong it as long as possible. So they had come for that.
Finally, after 2 straight days of fighting inside the hotel, the Black Cats have cleared entire floors and are pressing the terrorists hard.
Our commandos are so very well trained, there is no question of the terrorist escaping. So the problem is, find out where he is, spot him, and fix it.
By now, the Black Cats have also learned one critical piece of information from the intercepts. There are 4 terrorists in the hotel, and they're steadily eliminating them.
So people began to count, one more knocked out, one more knocked out. So the body count was being kept track of. That was a sign things were coming to an end.
By dawn, on the 29th of November, the siege is in its end game. There are just 2 terrorists left, and they are cornered on the first floor. In an intense exchange, the Black Cats fire a hail of bullets into the terrorists' position. Outgunned and outmaneuvered, the terrorists' deadly onslaught of murder and mayhem is finally over. After 3 days and the death of 170 innocent people, as well as the serious injury of 304 more, the city is left with terrible scars.
How dare somebody from across the border come right into the heart of the country and kill innocent people for what?
The killers who struck this week are brutal and violent, but terror will not have the final word. People of India are resilient. People of India are strong.
The comparisons to 9/11 are fair. I think they're valid. I think this.
Okay, wait a minute. She just said 9/11. Every other time it's been edited out. Was that a mistake?
This is India's 9/11. I think if any good came of this, it's that India was forced to have a day of reckoning.
There are clearly lessons to be learned. The government took too long to react and called in the elite commandos far too late.
I don't fault them for that. Honestly, even though you understand 170 people died, 300 some injured, I understand that. I don't fault them for that. It's easy to make that judgment now. But in that moment, the police showing up and then realizing that they're outgunned, and then having the Marines come in and realizing, well, this isn't like what we do. They did kind of go down the checklist of, oh, I'm phasing, I'm back. Okay, we're all okay. They did go through the checklist of, okay, well, we can send these. Oh, okay, well, what about these? So I don't fault them for that. Understandably, more people were killed. I get that, and that's terrible. But I don't fault them, because if the first group of police officers were able to go through there, then hey, problem solved. So it's not their fault on that.
The energy apart, India as a whole learned a few lessons. One is that we must have a more decentralized system of dealing with terror attacks.
Since then, changes have been made to India's counter-terrorism plans.
Well, we are better prepared. Yes, we're better prepared than we were then. But I hope to God it's never tested.
Operation Black Tornado was a success for the Black Cats.
The NSG were really up against it. They were confronted with an enemy that had a number of hiding places, a lot of armory, and they did a great job to take them.
Even though they had minimal intelligence and faced a well-prepared enemy, they defeated the terrorists.
I remember seeing the NSG commandos in their sort of their black overalls, looking absolutely exhausted. And I was in no doubt that these were some extremely motivated and brave men.
But about 100 odd men deployed, they knocked off 10 heavily armed terrorists. So the NSG's ratio of killing terrorists in such an operation, to my mind, would be perhaps one of the highest in the world.
It's a great organization. It has always come out, with flying colors in any operation they've been deployed.
And it is to their credit that they did this job with minimum number of casualties.
Operation Black Tornado shows terrorists and the world just what the Black Cats are capable of, and the lengths they'll go to get the job done.
Yeah, I don't remember this. I just don't remember this happening. With Bush being the president. I mean, that was 2001 to 2009. Oh, sorry, my elbow popped. I don't remember it happening. Sorry, one of my dogs is snoring. But yeah, and the good, you always try to take something positive out of something so disgusting, and that is that now, if that same thing were to happen, the Black Cats would be called in immediately, and that is it's going to save all the hassle of waiting, of going down the checklist. You're just eliminating that checklist. Eliminate it, call them in within 10, 15 minutes of hearing about everything that's happening. Call them in. They got a 3-hour window to come down, which now you could probably have that the units probably not scattered, but a group here, a group there, because the country's so big. Come on, there you go. You could have you could have the troops separated into different, I almost said wings, but different cities to kind of help with having them called in. And you could have, let's say you had a group in Mumbai. Doesn't mean you're not going to contact Delhi and still have this other unit brought in, and maybe another city that's going to hold some and have them brought in. It would just shorten down the amount of time to have troops there, and then whoever other units are coming in, they're just, they're the backup unit that's there. One unit's fighting for 30 hours. You're not necessarily going to need that. You can have one unit fighting, and then when that unit's cleared out, then the B unit, they go into another thing, and A unit can relax a little bit. And then maybe when they're done, then they can go in. And so you kind of have a rotation. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but that it is also an option if you're separating them. But then again, you're also going to want to have all maximum force. So what do I know? This is interesting. I just don't remember it. I wish I did. Probably just a footnote of, things that were happening at the time. Anyways, I'm going to end it there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Not necessarily what happened, but, it's good to know there are some special forces units out there that kick ass. So until next time, have a good day, have a good night.